Welcome to Technology and Education Today. I'm Richard Smith.
And I'm Caroline Crawford.
And today we are talking about service requirements for new assistant professors. Caroline, what are some of the service requirements for new assistant professors? But before that, what exactly is service to a university?
I was going to wonder, what are you talking? What do you mean?
Yes, what do I mean?
Service falls under many different realms. Service to your program, service to your college, service to your university. But above and beyond that, also service within your profession for different professional organizations as well as out in the field. Even for different businesses and industry, that is service that you're offering to nonprofits when you're out working within the community.
So
that's considered service
what's an
as well.
example of a service requirement for the school itself?
For an assistant professor?
Yeah, for assistant professor, but for a service for the school. What kind of service would you provide for the school? What's typically expected?
And we're talking about a brand new assistant professor starting tenure track.
Starting tenure track. What should that person expect?
The vast majority of universities urge people during, especially their first semester, usually their first year, to hold back on service to the university, because developing a level of comfort within the environment, understanding the policies and procedures are vitally important before you can start offering your service within your academic venue. On the other hand, there are plenty of universities that put you right in there and get you started on your service components.
So what's an example of service that might be required or asked?
Sitting on committees,
Okay.
sitting on school committees, sitting on program committees, sitting on university level committees. Most universities urge non-tenured but tenure track people not to sit on faculty senate, for example, which is a university level committee. Partially because it is a lot of time and effort, partially because it's very politically charged, and as a tenure track person, you are vulnerable. And it can be a very interesting situation, especially if you lead the charge on something, you find out after you're leading the charge that, oh, this is really going to negatively impact my bid for promotion and tenure. It's like, yeah, I guess you should have thought about that beforehand. I warned you. And I'm thinking about someone specific. I warned you. Why would you do that? But you did it anyway.
Okay, so now an example of service to, let's say professional organizations.
As you're going around offering presentations at different conferences, those conferences are usually associated with professional organizations. And becoming involved as a member within those organizations, attending their meetings, getting to know different people associated with those organizations, you become known. People look at you and check out the quality of who you are as an academic, as a person, as a colleague. And specifically, I'm thinking about one person who, it was her first time at this conference, and I just invited her along. Hey, come on, why don't you go to lunch with us and get to know these people? We just happened to meet in the hall. I don't actually remember how we met. But from that instance, and introducing her around to a lot of people in the organization, she's on several different committees, and her colleagues at her home institution are amazed. How in the world did you get involved? It's like, you're a nice person, you're a trustworthy person, you're interesting,
What type of committees might one find in a professional organization that you could volunteer for?
Professional organizations, they have standing committees. Professional organizations, they always need reviewers for their journals.
Reviewers for journals, okay.
They always have commissions that are being set. They always have task forces that are being pulled together.
These investigate things on the part of the organization?
Absolutely. Different areas of research, different ideas that they want to bring forward. But there's always, especially within professional organizations, there are always standing committees that are doing the work of the organization.
So now within these standing committees,
you're developing your reputation.
As far as being in a tenure track, you could be a committee member, which counts for a certain amount of credits in your institution, but you could also be the chairman or chairperson of that committee. Well, now does that count for more credit as in the tenure process?
At many institutions, yes, but at many institutions, no.
How about president of the organization?
It should significantly count. It depends on your institution.
Okay, now if you were a member,
That's a silly thing to say, isn't it? But it's true.
well, of course, it's going to be dependent on institution, but something that people should keep aware of. Now, you could also be on the boards of organizations.
Absolutely. You're
And-
the guiding force for the board, for the institution.
And that's another thing
Professional
that's
organization.
another thing that would count for tenure, I imagine.
Usually, if you're sitting on a board, someone whose tenure track isn't necessarily going to want to sit on the board, because at least for most organizations with whom I've worked, that is an immense amount of time and effort. That's taking you away from your research and your teaching and your other service obligations. So, yeah, absolutely, a great opportunity. You usually get to work with amazingly cool people, but consider the time allocation. You only have so much time. And the concept of, oh, I'm working on promotion and tenure, and then when I get promoted and tenured, I'm going to relax and enjoy. No, you're working just as hard. So,
But you're meeting all sorts of people.
oh, absolutely, amazing people, and you're going to need most of the people that you're meeting during your service efforts when you go up for promotion and tenure, because you need external reviewers. So these people that you're getting to know and who are getting to know you and the quality of academic that you are as a person, what your research areas are, not only will you have the opportunity to use these people as external reviewers who are supportive of your work, but also making connections. Like, I was just walking past a colleague's office the other day, and she was working on something on a research area, social justice, and we were joking around about something or other, and she showed me one or two of the articles that she was pulling in for her lit review, and one of them had a buddy's name on it, whom I've known for, 10, 15 years. Awesome woman. Amazing, awesome woman. I was like, oh, I know her, yeah. She does great work, and she's in K-12, and the person I was speaking with was like, you know her? She's awesome. I happen to know her through organizations, but she's awesome and amazing. You never know who you meet and how you meet them. But now I've tried to make a connection between them, so that obviously my colleague was so impressed by this person's work, so why not see if there is a collaboration that might come out of it?
So as part of the tenure process, what happens is that an assistant professor puts together, a book of everything that he or she has done during the 6 years?
In the promotion and tenure
yeah.
process? At the end of your 5-6 years in promotion and tenure, in your tenure track time, you pull together your teaching, research, and service. Each university has their own mandates about how this works, and at the end of this whole process, well, actually, towards the beginning, when you're getting your books together, they have something called an external review process. And you usually pull together different people from your field and offer biographies and contact information. Usually it's polite to ask your external reviewers that you're offering beforehand, would you mind, do you have the time to consider doing this? I've been asked to do external reviews for people. I have no idea who these people are. So that's a little awkward.
Well, it could be,
but yeah,
it
sure,
could be
fine, no
completely
problem.
neutral at that point.
Absolutely, and I have no problem doing that. Sure, why not? Why wouldn't I try and help someone? It helps if you happen to know who the person is, or know it's coming at least.
Now here's another, is
Save out my time, share my time in different areas so I can do the external review justice.
Does service to the community count in this process?
It's a great idea. A lot of it depends upon the university for whom you're working. Define community. Community as in your local community, that's kind of an expectation. Bridging wherever you can and all that. What really matters for you as a tenure track person is getting your name known. A lot of that comes through service and working with your colleagues, professional colleagues, out in all different realms, internationally, nationally, as well as regionally. There are a lot of great regional conferences and organizations as well.
Well, thank you very much, and we've reached the end of yet another edition of Technology and Education Today. For Technology and Education Today, I'm Richard Smith.
And I'm Caroline Crawford. Bye!